The first message came an hour before our anniversary dinner. Her. Running late. Don't wait for me. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering, feeling that familiar mix of disappointment and doubt. 10 years married, and somehow our anniversary had become just another thing she could reschedule. I told myself to be understanding. I always did. I typed back, okay, I'll be there. What I didn't say was that I'd already been there emotionally for weeks. Waiting. Watching. Pretending not to notice the distance growing between us like a quiet wall. The restaurant was the same place where I'd proposed. Candlelight. White tablecloths. Soft piano music drifting through the room. I arrived early like I always did, and ordered water I didn't drink. I kept checking the door, half expecting her to walk in with that smile that used to make everything else disappear. She didn't. Instead, my phone buzzed again. Sorry. Something came up. No explanation. No apology. That was when I decided not to go home alone. For weeks, I'd been collecting small, uncomfortable truths. Missed calls she returned hours later. Her phone locked tighter than ever. The way she'd angle her screen away from me, like I was a stranger instead of her husband. I'd questioned myself first, told myself I was paranoid, insecure, tired. Then I stopped lying to myself. 2 nights earlier, while she showered, her phone lit up on the counter. I didn't dig. I didn't scroll. I didn't need to. The preview said enough. Can't wait to see you again. No name. Just certainty. I confronted her gently that night. Asked if there was something she wanted to tell me. She laughed it off, said I was imagining things, said work was stressful. She kissed my cheek like a period at the end of a sentence. But something in me had already shifted. So there I was, sitting alone at our anniversary table, realizing I'd been alone for much longer than that. I paid the waiter, stood up, and walked out into the cool night air with a strange calm settling over me. I called my sister. Are you busy? I asked. 20 minutes later, she pulled up outside the restaurant. She wasn't dressed for a fancy dinner, jeans, a simple jacket, but she looked at me with concern that felt like oxygen. You okay? She asked. I will be, I said. Come inside with me. Her eyebrows shot up. Inside where? Our anniversary dinner. She hesitated. Are you sure? I nodded. I need to see something. We walked in together. Heads turned. The hostess looked confused but led us back to the table I'd just left. Candles were still burning. The place smelled like wine and roasted garlic, romantic and cruel all at once. We sat. And then I saw her. She froze just inside the entrance, hand still on the door, eyes locked on me. Not on the table. Not on the candles. On us. On me with a stranger. Her face cycled through emotions so fast it was almost surreal. Shock. Confusion. Anger. Something like fear. She walked toward us slowly, heels clicking too loudly against the floor. What is this? She asked, voice tight. I stood. You said you were running late. Then you said something came up. She glanced at my sister, then back at me. So you brought her? This is my sister, I said calmly. The person who shows up when I call. The words landed harder than I expected. She flushed. You're being dramatic. Am I? I asked. It's our anniversary. You didn't come. You didn't explain. And somehow I'm the one embarrassing you. People were watching now. I didn't care. She pulled me aside, lowering her voice. This isn't the place. It never is, I said. That's the problem. She looked at me then, really looked. And I think she realized I wasn't bluffing. That the version of me who swallowed doubts and smiled through disappointment was gone. Outside, the night felt colder. She confessed in pieces. Not all at once. Emotional closeness first. Then boundaries crossed. Then the truth she'd been avoiding. She didn't know when it stopped being harmless. I didn't mean to hurt you, she said, tears finally spilling over. I know, I replied. But you did. The fallout wasn't loud. It was quiet. Heavy. We talked for hours that night. About loneliness, unmet needs, the slow erosion of attention that neither of us addressed in time. I saw her guilt. I saw her fear. I also saw my own exhaustion reflected back at me. In the end, I went home alone. Not because I hated her. Not because I wanted revenge. but because I needed to remember who I was without constantly waiting to be chosen. Our anniversary became a marker, not of love but of clarity. I'm rebuilding now. Slowly. Some days hurt more than others. But I no longer confuse absence with patience, or betrayal with misunderstanding. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever felt invisible in a relationship, share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice might be the reminder someone else needs. You deserve to be met where you stand.